older and people that we care for begin to age, we may need some help in our homes.
It's common concern for those of us that I like to call the sandwich generation. Like me, I know it's good to know that there is high quality help out there.
Carolyn Flietstra is the Vice President of Home and Community-Based Services with Helpers of Holland Home. So why don't we just start by explaining what is Helpers of Holland Home?
Sure, it's really a services provider for people who are in their own homes who are older and want to stay independent. And very often we work with families and kind of coordinate those cares together. We do personal care, homemaking services, and nursing services, really kind of whatever is needed for the situation, which varies a lot.
Yeah, well, and because every situation is a little bit different, does it begin by sitting down and maybe making a plan for what are the services that this aging member of our family needs, and then how do we want you to help you provide them?
Exactly, and I think that's what's different about it from a lot of other types of services, is that it's very directed by the family or the older person. That they sit down with the nurse and they say, this is what we want. Mm-hmm. We may see that there's other services that they could use, but they're choosing what they want, so it's very self-directed. And the family kind of knows, this is what I need help with too. I can do these things for Mom, but I can't do these.
Right.
What is the difference between home health and helpers?
If you think of home health as being really medical and typically funded by medical insurance, it's maybe nursing and therapy, that kind of thing, where these kinds of services are really anything that you need to stay safe. It might be taking care of your house, it might be making meals, helping you get ready in the morning.
A lot of other things that might
care.
Fall through the cracks, but people still, of course, need solutions as they change and they age and say, hey, I can't do everything that I used to be able to do.
Right. People a lot of times think those services are covered in the home health, and they're kind of frustrated when they aren't. So we often will work in concert with other companies to provide kind of a comprehensive plan.
Well, and it's wonderful too, because you find that things like nutrition, making sure someone is eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, those are the kinds of basic things that can really lead to your overall health.
Right.
And if that falls through the cracks, then people may degenerate or deteriorate much more quickly.
Right. And that kind of regular interaction throughout the day provides some structure sometimes for someone who really feels like they're maybe not getting a lot of social interaction when they're home, but they really want to be home. So it's a good choice.
What exactly is your service area? And what families can help?
Yeah, we cover all of Kent County and eastern Ottawa County at this point, but we are definitely growing.
So. Yeah, especially as you see this generation of older Americans that are, finding things change over time and services change and the way we live. We talked about technology, about, when we age, we're going to have different expectations too. And businesses like yours have to adjust to that.
Yes, we do. And I think that's one of the things, that there are some great opportunities for people that want to move into a senior community, but for people who don't, this is a really great choice. And at Holland Home, we really realize that a lot of people don't want to move into residential setting. Some people really love that, but we deliver at least half of our services out in the community off our campuses now, because that's really where the demand is.
Which is really great, and so I'm guessing that you have an army of people who have just a servant's heart to really provide companionship and, of course, those other duties.
Yes.
You must need a lot of highly skilled people, and maybe even just people who are energetic.
Right. We need both. We need a lot of people, but we need skilled nurses, certainly. But the aid services, the servant's heart that you mentioned, is the biggest thing. And so for people who are interested in doing that kind of work, maybe cared for a family member in the past and said, I just love that, I felt great about it, we do all the training, and we do quite extensive training with them.
Yeah, so we talked about a couple different elements. Maybe some people looking for employment, and then some people looking for help with a family member or a loved one that they know may be struggling or maybe entering, a time where they need to start thinking about some things. So you should just get in contact. We've got the information on the screen. People should just call and get the ball rolling that way.
Absolutely, we can help them.
Okay, and you also, let's talk a little bit about cost.
Yes.
Because for the skilled nursing, that's a lot of times there is some help from insurance, but what about for just the light housekeeping, those other kinds of services that you mentioned?
It's really very cost effective. Our services start at $18 an hour, but people can get a fairly comprehensive solution for them that's maybe half the cost of assisted living that's fairly safe and even provides 2 or 3 touch-ins a day.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
So it's a
Thank
nice
you.
choice.
That's such good information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
Are you West?